Charlie, UEFA for said there is going to be new changes. Our Champions League senior born in Yami next season. They have highlighted how the games are going to be played. The plan for the next set of Champions League games in the UEFA Champions League Yami next season. And of course, it has come with some other news. And the Chelsea 4 players are returning to pre-season training. Alejandro Garnacho, Facundo Buonanotte, Romeo Lavia, all of those important players for Chelsea Football Club have all returned to training, and it has brought up some very, very interesting conversation of SAR games in our Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Say, own subscribe to the channel, I'm sure. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. In the notification turn on, I do choose all. Send anytime that I have content about drop Whoa, your first to have it on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. A very, very interesting conversation from the Champions League. And the UEFA for one person, it's very, very interesting. And then the UEFA for one say, Nyame Adoma next season. Winners are winning Champions League in this season. That is the 25-26 season. According to UEFA, she has started the 27-28 season now. Now, I'm sure. Let me say a big thank you to my people. But first off, subscribe to the channel. If not subscribe to the channel, turn on notification. In the notification channel, Michelle, do choose all. So never anytime your content ever drop, we are first to have it. Let me say a big thank you to Yes Most Spare Parts Dealership Shop. Ekroma say, Super Spare Parts, they are the best place for you. Yes, Michelle, our crowd, I was so kind, I hold a butu. But when you are crowd, then you can just call them on 059-313-8221. Michelle, for yes, most see all them take very, very good care of you. Of course, say, oh, and yet, spare parts now, pen as an Italian pedia. Then the place to go, a MOB clothing. MOB clothing. Michelle, just call MOB clothing. So when you are crowd, or a flower, or to do a flower station, or to do a flower station, or to the hall, and MOB clothing. So when you are crowd, they just call them on 0200-668-708, 0200-668-708, and BBR, and you come up. Now, what I was saying is that UEFA want to say, in terms of Champions League, and then what they've done is that, say, who win Champions League in this season, which is the 25-26 season. So who win the subsequent season, you bought the first match day of the Champions League season. What UEFA are saying is that who defending champion, who number ball first match on Tuesday, and there's an opening ceremony, come up. No about first match. Then the rest of the teams will be matches on Wednesday and Thursday. That is what UEFA Forum are trying to know. So the Champions League will launch with a standalone fixture and many feature of an opening ceremony as part of plans to boost revenue. From 2027 to 2028, the competition will start with the defending champions. In this case, Paris Saint-Germain, if it was supposed to be this year, with an opponent, and it's going to be the only match of the night, according to UEFA said. See about Champions League in that regard. You have one game, one game, you have one day on Tuesday, and it is just for the Champions League winner. What they want to do is that they want to increase revenue. On personal revenue, 7 cost. No means kakaka, and it's very, very important for UEFA Champions League for in terms of revenue generation. I can say in terms of any football, we say it's purely about revenue. So say Obia making sure say Obetime generating revenue. No, this can the club and the federation, and that's what FIFA Fono are trying to do in terms of their revenue generation. Something that is very, very important for UEFA Fono and FIFA Fono. Barcelona are deep in talks with Eric Garcia with a long-term deal, and they are confident that he'll soon put pen to paper. But Chelsea will be open to hearing them away should he fail to agree terms. It's not true. I don't think Chelsea will be interested in Eric Garcia. I'll tell you why. A lot of these outlets like to use Chelsea's names to sell papers. Chelsea will not be interested in Eric Garcia, not because he's a bad player. Eric Garcia is a very good player. But then the big issue was that Eric Garcia heights, it hasn't worked for the Premier League. Manchester City tried it before, where Eric Garcia was in English Premier League, but then he's a good ball playing centre back. What the ball to focus on both feature. He's one of the best players that you can get. The problem with our Brent friend Eric Garcia is his inability to win aerial duels. And in English Premier League, it's about physicality and aerial duels. Now, Obekaya, Man City for in last January, Kofa Brent friend Abdul Kadir Kosunov. He was one of the best players our French league had in terms of centre back. Now, Chelsea wanted Abdul Kadir Kosunov. The only reason why Chelsea did not go for Kosunov was the aerial ability and not only now Manchester City went in and they went for Brent friend Abdul Kadir Kosunov. Now, the big issue has now been about the height of our Brent friend Abdul Kadir Kosunov. It's not height. Aerial duels, he's not winning side duels the wall, and it's really affecting team your friend Manchester City. What we are hearing is that Chelsea has money to spend in January, big money spending in January. That is the plan for Chelsea Football Club. Third Bali, Baghdad the Gbali. Now Chelsea for can say Nyami Adoma in January. Nothing will stop them from going onto the transfer market. In fact, say some pay new players. Edion show team in the transfer market in January. It's something that Todd Bali, Baghdad, the Gbali, SCC can down and will augment. And it's mostly going to be in and around the center back area at Chelsea Furniture. They may buy another person to come in and ask the quality. Chelsea have money to spend in January, but are currently happy with the current squad, according to Nizar Kansala, and would only sign a player capable of taking the club to the next level. Like I said, it's a player Bibem or Chelsea Furniture. It's probably going to be a player obetimi the team no akọ top level obetimi akọ a notch or two higher in terms of the influence of play, the ability to dictate the pace of the game, the ability to really delve deep and then make things kick for Chelsea Fono. That is the only way Chelsea Fono are going to go into the transfer market and then get Obi from there to come in and come out to team now, and that's what they are going to do. In January, although there is money there. Chelsea have explored signing defenders before Levico's injury, and notably Dean Heighton, Mekans. That's the one who pays there. Chelsea they were all for the signing of a centre back. In fact, on a personal level, how many are Brent Effendi Dean Heighton didn't come actually? They were convinced that Dean Heighton was probably going to be the guy at Chelsea are going to sign him because almost Dean Heighton, the quality, they'll be able to get Dean Heighton to come in and play for them. They shouldn't be too worried. Things are going to go on well from them. Fine. Then after that, almost said Madrid for with respect to Brent Effendi Dean Heighton. They didn't worry again. Almost said Brent Effendi Dean Heighton was already away. See, Jarrell Hartu from Ajax Amsterdam with a view of giving the academic graduates Josh a champion further chances. They also have other young centre backs in there, like Mamadou Sarr, like I told you about this morning, and our branch friend Aaron and Salmeno. Now, these are the main reasons in Chelsea don't look like they are going to sign a centre back. Not even McGay, because almost every time I hear some people are saying that Chelsea most likely may go into the market and they may go and buy a branch friend McGay. Maybe they may go and buy another centre back. They want some other centre back players. Now, Uche, sad story from Nizar Kansala. Kansala said, we know the hierarchy at Chelsea are aware of the qualities of our branch friend McGay. However, doubts, injuries will factor at this stage. Given Trevor Chalobah, Wesley Fofana, and Tosin Adrebia are due back after the international break, it would be more of a case of whether Chelsea's project appeals to Gay if they make an offer and whether his profile is needed compared to other already on the books over there. I am not expecting to hear anything soon, according to Abenti and the friend Nizar Kansala. It's very important because Abenti friend Mark Gay has been on the radar. One of the most experienced centre backs our English Premier League. A lot of the teams in English Premier League and him say Magay and the quality neighbor. He knows how to play the game. Also a leader for Crystal Palace, also in the Chelsea Academy. Really important player. Open the quality of players on me. Abuao, no push your team to the top level. A brand here friend of Magay is one of them. And Chelsea Fono are saying that they are interested in the quality of a brand here friend of Magay. They know that Magay is a top player. However, in the team at Chelsea Football Club, they feel like they have similar quality. They have the same quality, or they have even better quality than a branch of McGay. So maybe they won't do that. Now, one of the things that has been a dark password at Chelsea Football Club, the stadium redevelopment, and the front shirt sponsor. Now, there is updates on these two things: Chelsea Stadium redevelopment, and the front shirt sponsor and Koma Omudi. Whether Chelsea are going to get a new front shirt sponsor to come in and help them take the club to the next level, or whether they are going to do the stadium redevelopment or not. It's something that Chelsea are planning and trying to get things right. Now, what's here Nizar Kansala on Chelsea redevelopment? I'll say the Stamford Bridge expansion looks more likely than a new stadium. So not Chelsea were contemplating on whether they should go to a new place and then set up a new stadium, or whether they should do the Champions League, the Stamford Bridge redevelopment. Now, they feel like Stamford Bridge redevelopment is the best one because the pitch owners organization don't want to allow the owners to move the club from there. Pitch owners, they were in the last Roman Abramovich era, Abramovich and Barcelona. It's something that they did for them to show their solidarity to the people, the supporters of Chelsea. Say, almost moving Chelsea from its original site. That is where the club is going to be. And those around the Fulham Road around will say, okay, they will be able to watch Chelsea matches there and then. But of course, because of urbanization and all of these things, the Chelsea phone GD say, and coming a new stadium away from the Fulham Road, the King's Road, Fulham. Normally, stadium no come before obviously and Quebec, but it's something that the fans are not agreeing. So it looks as if Chelsea will go down and do the redevelopment rather than any other thing. A redevelopment, and on the our club and not any other thing. And Nizar Kansala said the Stamford Bridge expansion looks more likely, but there is still some window of opportunity to open on taking the site, which currently controlled by the Elscourt Development Company, the EDC. Chelsea Fournier said they are waiting to see if there is going to be that development on the Elscourt Development Company, so that they'll be able to bring them in and then come in and get a job done in terms of a Jumanes of your home now. That is something that they're going to do. Chelsea 4 players were back in training with coach Enzo Maresca. But the good news, and it's our brand here, your friend Levi Cowell returned to gym work. The journey back to full fitness after the ACL injury, is just started. And then they started gym work. And yeah, our brand here, friend Romeo Lavia could try the picture. And on the go to Instagram, say soon our branch friend Levi Cole is going to be back in the team and be playing there. Now branch friend Romeo Lavia are back in training. Good one for Chelsea because with Enzo Fernandez leaving the Argentina national team camp and reporting back to England with some level of swell on the right knee, it means that one Shania in the game against Nottingham Forest this weekend, Enzo Maresca will not play Abrantia, your friend Enzo Fernandez. Maybe he's going to go on and then play Abrantia friend Romeo Lavia is available, or Andre Santos in there. And then now Abrantia friend Romeo Lavia was in training. Very, very important for him. When the Chelsea legends played a game against Liverpool legend, the coach of the night was Abrantia friend Roberto Di Matteo. Roberto Now, Roberto Di Matteo, Juman as the coach, Chelsea for the questions. Actually, countryman Enzo Maresca, and the coach of Chelsea Football Club. On the all quality strings, all police string, where the main guy at Chelsea. Are you convinced a football bang any case of farmer Enzo Maresca and Cardiff now? Roberto Di Matteo, I say the head coach is doing a great job. Sometimes I speak to Enzo. We are both Italian, so there is no language barrier. He doesn't need any advice. He knows football very well prepared. He's got a lot of knowledge, according to Roberto Di Matteo. No, say to the bia, a friend, Italy for. Inti, omuni language barrier, be only din common in Italiano, omokasa, omoplani omonyoma. Na, ono nim se Enzo Maresca, or tia jumanasi, in terms of coaching, the understanding of the game, and it's an manimano, or tia siapa. Inti ano ta friend ni didn't come and he knows that Enzo Maresca will do the job our Chelsea Football Club. Bisano about Abrantia, your friend Chelsea winning the Club World Cup. No say Charlie, this Chelsea team is magnificent. I think they are doing very, very well. They won the Conference League and then this season and then won the Club World Cup. So they are back winning trophies, and that is what this club is about, winning trophies. The hope is that they keep on winning more, according to Roberto Di Matteo. Yes, Chelsea is back winning trophies. It's a good sign for them. It's a very, very, very good sign for them. But he hopes that Chelsea can be more consistent in terms of trophies, no maybe winning, and then after that, they'll be able to go on and then get a job done. Chelsea are reigning UEFA Conference League and Club World Cup champions. So without, let's say, they are winning on that front now. And according to my brand here, Roberto Di Matteo, and of course the Athletic, whether everyone else agrees, especially relative to how much they are spent, and the legitimacy of the later tournament in particular is a bigger argument. And that is something that you are not used to. Of course, and then Abrante Steva Willian was in Brazil for a training section. It was very, very important. I Chelsea will get their star man, Abrante Estevao Willian, in there in terms of the conversation for them to be able to get their man to come in and come and deliver. Now, Abrante Estevao Willian was in there and they were able to get a job done over there for Abrante Estevao Willian. Good stuff for Chelsea Football Club. The fact that they're able to get their players back in. Abrante Estevao Willian was number one of them. And then in training, Facundo Buonanotte was in training. Alejandro Garnacho was in training. Abrante Romeo Lavia, he was in training as well. There was Abrante Yefreno on the team. Almost everybody our Chelsea team was over there, very, very ready in training. Of course, Abrante Robert Sanchez was right there in training as well. And this week, all of them are returning and they are going to be able to come in and then play their games. So on my bench, Wesley Fofana, he was in training. Trevor Chalobah, he was in training. Almost everybody was back in training for Chelsea Football Club. I mean, it's very, very interesting. Chelsea boys now, they have managed to recover and that is very, very important over there for themselves. The next set of games after the November, until the November international break, Chelsea, Belgium, Nottingham Forest, Ajax Amsterdam, Sunderland, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Spurs, Qarabag, any team in front of Wolves, 7 games and a Chelsea Belgium until the tail end of November. And in November, I think it's just a week of international break. And I don't know, right from there, we are not going to have any more international breaks until March. And since then, I don't know how many games, how many points do you think that Chelsea will be from the matches that they'll play until the November international break? We'll see how things are. Maresca are very, very important in terms of the things that he has been able to win. That is very, very impressive in terms of Enzo Maresca. Let's go into other clubs as well, because there's some breaking news. Our Football Club Barcelona, there's some interesting conversation in and around the conversation around Tima, the friend of Football Club Barcelona, and of course Real Madrid. All of that's news. You did the come on into the Spain for coach, our friend Luis de la Fuente. Now, De La Fuente say suffering is part of life in sports, and the good news here is that Gavi is recovering quickly as possible, and when he recovers, he will be back with us. That's Luis de la Fuente. Because Charlie, ono ope friend of Pedri, I'm a friend of Pablo Gavi as Empire. He's a good player, and of course, sometimes the downsides of life, it happens. Sometimes you are down, kakra, and what he's saying is that he's going to get a friend of Pablo Gavi as part of his team. And once he's back, it's going to be, say, we always do the things about the health, do the thinking about the health of the footballers. Every week in club football, players get injured. And this international break is just another match day. It should be a pride to be here. I don't know why people make a bigger deal when a player gets injured with the international football. And that is Luis de la Fuente. Say, Charlie, the way Barca for making noise, say, oh, Lamine Yamal, Hono, Baben, PKG, and it's any problem. It happens with football, whether it's international football, whether it's club football, whether it's week football, whether it's preseason, wherever, players can get injured. And for me, that's the most important thing. Luis de la Fuente went on, spoke about Ferran Torres' injury. Not say there's no injury to Ferran, it's just discomfort. We need the players at 100%. He wasn't ready for tomorrow, and the best thing was to remove him from the squad. He will surely be perfect for Wednesday for us, according to Abantia, a friend Luis de la Fuente talking about Abantia, your friend Danny Olmo. What we are hearing is that Danny Olmo has been ruled out from the El Gran Clásico. Danny Olmo El Clásico, maybe injury, it looks like it have ruled Abrante's friend Danny Olmo out. Apart from him, Abrante's friend Antonio Rudiger, and also out of the conversation of the El Clasico. No, Abrante's friend Antonio Rudiger, and a sport and an report say Antonio Rudiger and say out. And it's Abrante's friend Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski, most likely, the chance of Lewandowski leaving Barcelona at the end of the season is significant, but no one from the club has informed him of anything. It's possible say you be season every now Robert Lewandowski every free football club Barcelona, but Obianca Chen said by force obe free team your friend obe free Barcelona on akobe before Obianca Sanchez, but we'll see if that is going to be the case or it's not going to be the case over there. On Marcus Rashford, I feel like I've been an inconsistent environment for a very, very long time. So it's even more difficult to be consistent. I think consistency is what I need to bring into my game. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Marcus Rashford. All of a sudden, Marcus Rashford has thrown a jab at Manchester United. On all Manchester United, they're too inconsistent. Into Barcelona, as on no then so very consistent because now dreaming and too inconsistent. And about it's going to be difficult for Rafinha to be available for the Girona game over there for Football Club Barcelona. And the players, Barca players, on one international break, they were all ready for training. And Lamine Yamal was in training. Abrante's friend Alejandro Balde was in training also for Football Club Barcelona. Very, very, good start. Breaking. Ferland Mendy will return to training this week. According to Mario Catania, it's a very, very good news for Football Club Real Madrid to be able to get some when players are normal people back into training. It's very, very important. Alvaro Carreras and then players are went to Yanko international break. They were back in Real Madrid training, including Abrantes, your friend of Ferland Mendy. It's interesting. So all of these boys are back into the conversation. Carlo Ancelotti's idea is now to make Vinicius Jr. the reference point of Brazil's attack, using the same formula that won him 12 titles in the last 4 years at Real Madrid. Now, obviously, use Abrantes if Vinicius Jr. to get a job that Madrid against Villarreal. Barcelona match being played in Miami now. Madrid for Kylian Mbappe is ready for the game against Getafe this weekend. Whatever happens, Abrantes friend Kylian Mbappe is going to play against Getafe. What we hear is that his full state will be known at the end of the week. That is Franco Mastantuono. Franco Mastantuono called Argentine national team camp. What we heard is that Coco prior now a massive fatigue. Back to Madrid. Drew Madrid. He has tried to make sure he stays fit and then get a job now. But the full extent of Franco Mastantuono fitness will be known at the end of the season. Real Madrid are optimistic that Trent Alexander-Arnold and Dani Carvajal will be ready for the Clasico for Abrantes friend Xabi Alonso to choose between them, whether it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold or it's going to be Abrantes friend of Dani Carvajal. One of them definitely is going to start and the other is going to be on the bench or when it comes to the games that they are going to play. Just in Real Madrid's Ferland Mendy is set to return to group training this week. It's very important the Madrid comes in. So Abrantes, the depth in quality is very, very important that they'll be able to do that. It's very important. Danny Olmo's injury is due to impact him for a while, but it's not going to be there for the whole time. They want to see Abrantes friend Danny Olmo is going to get back. Mr. Kylian Mbappe on forging his own legacy at the Santiago Bernabeu. But I think in Madrid he's still the number one. The fans still dream about Cristiano, but I want to follow my own path according to Abrantes, your friend. Kylian Mbappe on how he can also forge his own step. Or I'm gonna say Barca for player, your friend Ronald Araujo, on also Chelsea for Real Madrid's a bit smart center back. I just Barca for Obia Linke Barca center back to Chelsea. I'm gonna say Chelsea are interested in signing center back Ronald Araujo and could land the services if Barcelona continue to struggle financially. Chelsea have issues at CB. That's the only reason why people are linking Chelsea to Abrantes, your friend Ronald Araujo. There are strong chances that that Lewandowski will leave Barcelona. I mean, this summer, very, very important when it comes to Lewandowski for and whether they can leave the team or not. We'll see how things are going to go on from there in terms of the quality of play and our bench friend Robert Lewandowski and stuff like that. Now, we'll see how things are going to go on from there. We'll see it's going to be possible if those things will go on and it will happen in terms of the quality of signing money. We'll see how things are going to be there in terms of quality. On display now. Chelsea have money to spend in January, but of course, they are not willing to make an unnecessary spend on Kylian Mbappe. Or say, journalists, do you get the feeling that Letty played in the final and Real Madrid just played a match? I mean, like they were different in emotions. No, Mbappe said yes, but they came and they were right because they came to play a derby, and so did we. But we didn't match the intensity or their duels. In every cross, they were winning those duels. And in the match like that, it's very hard to win after that. Then we lost our rhythm. We lost the control. And after that, what happened over there. Talking about, say, Omulusomo game no, to Atletico v Madrid. We'll see how things are going to pan out from there when it comes to our branch here friend, Kylian Mbappe. And in a game that they played, for Team My Friend Football Club, Real Madrid, best dribbling over for the season, of course. Jeremy Docomo and Lady Parker in terms of the best dribblers in the world as it stands now. Guys, let me join the Ketson on this evening's edition. I'll see you. Bye-bye. Brutal.